This video is a lesson with Coach Charles, and in this lesson we're working on my backhand, which is wildly inconsistent. So just trying to get a bit of consistency and practice, hitting the backhand when off balance with some high balls, low balls, different spin. So yeah, we'll see how we get on. So this first drill here, we're just warming up and just hitting a few forehands. You see my forehand is pretty consistent now. And then moving on to the backhand. Now this one, Charles is hitting different balls with different heights and different speeds at me. So I've got to kind of adjust my feet, get into position, and you can see that my shots are very inconsistent. That one too far away. And then you'll see a lot of the shots I'm not really finishing the shot properly. And those high ones I'm really struggling with. So again, those high ones I'm struggling with. So what Charles is telling me there is just wait for it to come down. Just take a step back, wait for it to come down to an easier level, and then hit it from there. So I'm still hitting it too high there. That one I waited a bit better, and that one I've gone much further back, waited for it, and then you can see it's just much easier to hit it when it's a little lower. So these ones, Charles has given me some practice of hitting balls coming out with lots of spin. You can't really see from the video. I don't know why it doesn't really show on the video when you watch it, but from receiving these balls, I can tell you they've got so much spin, like loads of top spin, and occasionally some side spin as well, which is really hard to deal with. But it's great practice to try and face these kind of balls. Like that one there, had so much spin it just kind of jumped out the way and I completely misread it. But as the lesson went on, I found myself getting a little bit better at judging the spin that Charles is putting on the ball. And then when we rally at the end, which you'll see, I'm just kind of being a little bit more patient and just watching it a little bit more closely and judging the spin better. Because the thing is, when you're not used to playing against someone who hits it with that much spin, it's really hard to play against. It's really physically tiring too. Because there's so much spin on the ball coming at you, you have to counteract that spin by putting your own spin on it back, and it's really difficult. Yeah, and I found it really physically exhausting. But you can see the consistency is starting to get a little bit better. I'm still often off balance when I'm hitting, and that's just a terrible shot there. But I'm trying to get my feet in a better position to be a bit more stable when I'm hitting it. That was a better shot there. But what I really need to do is hit through the ball more. Quite often I finish the stroke by just kind of snapping my wrist, which means I don't get the control, which is when it often goes a long way out. So like that one there where I actually hit through the ball was much nicer, and that one I snapped my wrist and just kind of, kind of flat my wrist across. So the difference between those two shots is massive. When I swing through it has lots of control, it has lots of power, and when I forget to do that and I don't really finish the stroke, I don't hit through the ball, it goes all over the place, like that one. That was a perfect example there, where I've just bent my wrists rather than actually following through. Like that. A little bit off balance on that one. So I've just really got to get in the habit of always swinging through the ball, and then it's going to give me a lot more control, and then I can start, once I've got that consistent, I can start trying to put a bit more spin on it myself, a bit more top spin, which will allow me to put more power and still dip it, into the court. But for now, I just need to try and get some consistency. So here we're doing another drill where there's a couple of baseline backhands, and I'm hitting them back to Charles, and he's just volleying them back to me, and then he's going to hit a short one at some point that I need to move in and try and hit a winner. So like there's a short one, I've got to try and put it past him. And you can see here, even when I'm just trying to hit it back to Charles, I'm really struggling to control it. It's all over the place. That one in the net, sometimes it's going high, sometimes it's going wide. That was a better shot. And that's all to do with the, just not following through the stroke properly. And one thing Charles said is it needs to feel like the ball is on my racket face for longer, and then it will feel like I have more control. So I'm trying to practice, how that actually feels to do that. And then here we're having a rally at the end, which is always such good fun, because the way that Charles plays, it's not like anybody else I've played against. It just has so much more spin on the ball that you have to really concentrate to get the right timing when you're connecting with the ball to return it back to him, because it's kind of like jumping all over the place. It's kind of moving in the air on its way to you, and then when it bounces, it can sometimes jump up or jump into you or jump away from you. It's really challenging, really fun, but needs a lot of focus, a lot of concentration. You'll see sometimes here I've just completely misjudged it. So like that one, I've got much too close to the ball. That one's better. I give myself a bit more room there. Again, too close to the ball there, which is why I pushed it out. I'm kind of falling backwards on that one. Got too close to that one because the spin on it's kind of brought it in, and I'm not anticipating that properly. But it's progress. I'm starting to hit it a bit better, hitting through the ball a bit better. I've still got to get my feet moving more, I've got to get a more solid stance, and then I've got to follow through and complete the stroke properly. Like that one, I've just flapped at that one. It's just a really bad one. And then again, I've flapped at that one again. And that one I've misjudged and got way too close to my body. But it's really nice to be able to rally with Charles like this on the backhand. There's just no way I would have been able to do this a couple of months ago. I'd just about be able to rally with him on my forehand. And now it's nice to know that I can consistently get a backhand back to him as well. And it's great practice getting used to this kind of spin, facing someone who puts loads of topspin on the ball. It's very different from when I play Lee, or even Fang. Fang hits the ball so hard and powerful, and Lee hits it hard and very flat. But Charles is it doesn't come at you so quickly, but it's moving in the air so much, and it moves so much when it bounces, that it's that one, it's like a banana shot. It moves so much in the air. It's really fun. It's just a different kind of challenge. And that was the end of the lesson. So it was really good to just spend a whole hour practicing with my backhand. And then I hope, when I play some more matches and have other lessons, and I'll really see the benefits of working on my backhand. And if I can get to the point where I really sort of trust the consistency of my forehand and my backhand, then that will be great. I think it's going to help a lot when I'm playing the games to really commit to the shot and go for it more, because I just have a bit more confidence that it's not going to fly miles out or hit the bottom of the net. So it was really good lesson, really enjoyed it, and hope to do more rallying with Charles, because it's like I say, really difficult, but really good fun.